Hey, what's up? Welcome to Food and Philosophy episode 38. And I'm going to eat the sandwich that started it all. This is the first good looking sandwich I ever made. It's why it's number one, the Elvis Keith. Now, I recently had a scare with this sandwich where the base for the teriyaki we weren't going to be able to get. However, we found a way. We found a way. So number one, Elvis Keith. I ate this 90 days in a row when Ike's first opened. 90 days. It was the first good looking sandwich I ever made back when I only made basic sandwiches. And as you know now, Ike's is not basic at all. And it's halal chicken, teriyaki. We make our own wasabi mayo and then Swiss cheese. I got this, I think, with sriracha on sourdough. I got onions and lettuce and tomato. Boop, boop. What's up, guys? All right. Mm. If you can handle sriracha, the hack is to get it spicy. Then I get it on sourdough to help offset the sweetness of the teriyaki. There's a reason why this is sandwich number one on the menu. It's the one that paved the way for every sandwich after that. And I guess I liked it the most too because I did eat it 90 days in a row. All right, one more bite. This back bite right here looks pretty good. I think I'm just gonna do Ike's for every single meal from now on. Just go through all 1,000 sandwiches, be 1,000 episodes. Now, for those of you that follow me, know that I just recently got back from New Orleans, looking at locations in New York too. I snuck a few of the. Well, I didn't sneak them. I packed them in my bag. Snuck a few of these from Rouse's. I guess I don't. I think they're only out there, but my energy drink of choice, which you know I'm addicted to energy drinks, in New Orleans is this coconut water with coffee in it. Now, because I was in New Orleans and I was looking at property, it's really fitting that the next subject I talk about is short-term rentals because this is one of the policy things that keeps showing up on my feed because obviously it's political season and the algorithm knows that I care about it. Yeah, French Quarter. Hopefully we can get an Ike's there one day, someday. But a lot of the places, specifically on Bourbon Street and in the French Quarter, I guess like that Bourbon side, if you're I don't know how familiar you are with it, they do not allow short-term rentals, even if you had a permit, like unless you were grandfathered in a long ass time ago, they don't let you do it now, even if you sell the property. So the reason why I'm bringing up short-term rentals is people keep complaining that, oh, well, we're going to ban short-term rentals, so the real estate market is going to make it more accessible. I just looked at locations in Bourbon Street. There's two available. Two available. One of them was $4 million and on Decatur, so not even on Bourbon Street. Doesn't allow short-term rentals. And the other one is $10 million. I'm talking about a one with a zero after $10 million. And they don't allow short-term rentals. So you're telling me if they allowed short-term rentals, that house would be like 15 million or something, and the other one that was $4 million would be like 7 million. I don't believe that. That doesn't make any sense. Look at San Francisco. They can only do 90 days of Airbnbs or short-term rentals, and my house The house across the street from my house, I should say, sold for over $5 million. You're telling me that if short-term rentals were actually allowed, that house across the street would be $7 million? This is utter, I don't want to say bullcrap, but the reality doesn't show that banning short-term rentals actually helps anybody get a freaking house. It doesn't. What actually, and don't show me, oh, here's this city and this city. I'm talking about cities people want to live in. Look at a city like San Francisco. New York doesn't allow it, and New York is one of the most expensive places in the whole world. What drives prices is desirability, not strictly based on economics, as in supply and demand. Because sure, if there was way more places on Bourbon Street, would they all get sold? Absolutely, they would get sold. And then because they're desirable, though, they'd probably get held. And then over time, the situation would still be the same. Because look, they don't allow short-term rentals on Bourbon Street right now, and that property is $10 freaking million. Couldn't even consider that. That's $10 million. That's more than every single piece of property I have put together worth. $10 freaking million. What drives pricing is not having short-term rentals allowed. It's desirability of the place, and then to extent after that, like if the desirability is equal, like say if in LA, and LA is huge, which we see this part in LA, is affluence. LA is nowhere near as expensive as the Bay Area or San Francisco specifically. Hell, there's not even as expensive as on Bourbon Street is LA, other than the affluent areas. Because it's not just desirability, and it's not just supply side that's driving the demand. It's the places desirable, and then the places that it's affluent, that helps. This is one of those things. All right, no Airbnbs, no short-term rentals. Those are one of the things where somebody sees something, a politician usually, and goes, hey, I don't like this. This is bad. That means we need to pass a law that says you can't do this. And that'll solve everything. Did it solve anything? $4 million for a fixer-upper on Decatur Street. The freaking Cater. And if you know the French Quarter, that's like I don't know, like having a house in Fisherman's Wharf. Like, do you even want your house there? The restaurant doesn't even do that well that's there. They showed me the figures. The restaurant does like almost as good as like one of the worst Ikes. Like if that restaurant that's there right now, it's not at Ike's, obviously. And if in like a place that's so valuable as $4 million would be out of 120 Ikes would be like in the like hundreds, like 101 or 105 or something like, as far as sales go. So yes, the short-term rental really made that place available. There's 2 places available on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, and nobody's buying them because do you have $10 million? Do you have $4 million for the cheap one? Hell no. So it's not about that. They also like extended it out to look at hotel prices are more expensive because of short-term rentals being banned. And the thing is with that, yeah, that's probably actually true. And I don't think that any politician cares if some tourist has to pay more for a hotel room. This is wherein lies what politicians think are the solution, but they're actually not thinking. They're going, yeah, no Airbnbs. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, how's that working out for San Francisco? Did it get cheaper? How's it working for New York? Did it get cheaper in New York? Bourbon Street? You want to go stay in Bourbon Street? $10 million bucks? And bet you when something else comes available on Bourbon Street, it's going to be the same, 4 to 10 million, maybe even more, if the place is actually successful or if it's a nice place. Things like that. There was a 3-bedroom. There's in New Orleans on Bourbon Street, not the cool part Bourbon though. Like towards the end, it's available right now, over $1 million, 3 bedrooms. That sounds pretty freaking affordable to me. It's New Orleans. Why would you live in New Orleans and pay $1 million for a house? It was a condo. It wasn't a house with an HOA, and it was only like a 3-bedroom. It might have been a 3.5 bath. I did look at it. It's pretty nice. $1 million bucks. They can't like. Who is that affordable? It's New Orleans, and we're not talking about San Francisco or LA even. $1 million bucks in New Orleans. Yeah, no short-term rentals. So Telling me that would be like $2 million if it was? Anyway, that's my ex talk. All right. My main man, Khalil Gibran. Could you but see the tides of that breath, you would cease to see all else. And if you could hear the whispering of the dream, you would hear no other sound. But you do not see, nor do you hear, and it is well. The veil that clouds your eyes shall be lifted by the hands that wove it, and the clay that fills your ears shall be pierced by those fingers that kneaded it. And you shall see, and you shall hear. Yet you shall not deplore having known blindness, nor regret having been deaf. For in that day you shall know the hidden purpose in all things, and you shall bless darkness as you would bless light. After saying these things, he looked up about him, and he saw the pilot of his ship standing by the helm, and gazing now at the full sails, and now at a distance. We are veiled, literally, from the truth of the world, of how the universe works, of how Mother Nature works, how mathematics reveals itself to us. Elsewise, we would not be capable of moving. Literally, there would be no urges to move forward because we would know how it works. There would be we would not be capable of growing because where would we grow to if we already knew everything, how it works? And I'm not talking about like from a science standpoint, I'm talking about from an internal experience about how things work. And we wouldn't even be capable of being human because we would not be collapsed enough, like the particle to the wave. We would not be collapsed enough to be able to become the particle because we would just know how things are, and we would probably still be noble gases in the ether with our thoughts and our emotions that don't need a body to actually exist. Things are the way that they are, that show up the way that they are in your life, that show up the way that they are for everybody on this planet in reality on purpose. This is by design. This is the only way to be human, is to be collapsed enough to have this experience, to be like, oh, well, I don't know the truth, so now I can move. Yeah, why would you move somewhere if you always felt wherever you were was perfect? The answer is you wouldn't. You only move. What's up, Tyler? You only move when you feel like where you are is not where you want to be. And how can you feel that way if everything's perfect all the time? You will never grow because why would you grow? There's nothing to grow to. And again, you wouldn't be human. So everything is this way on purpose. So the moral is of the story, not of morality, is live your life with purpose. Love your life with purpose, and love and live your life the way that you want to. And how do you know the way that you want to live life? It's how you're living it right now. There's no different way for you to be. And the only times you're like, oh, I don't like this, is when your perspective is out of balance. But just know that this is on purpose. It is on purpose. Otherwise, you would never move. Learn, move, create, and adjust. And he said, he's about to leave. We're almost done. Gonna cry. Patient over patient is the captain of my ship. The wind blows, and restless are the sails. Even the rudder begs direction. Yet quietly my captain awaits my silence. And these, my mariners, who have heard the choir of the greater sea, they too have heard me patiently. Now they shall wait no longer. I am ready. The stream has reached the sea, and once more the great mother holds her son against her breast. Fare you well, people of Orphalese. This day has ended. It is closing upon us even as the water lily upon its own tomorrow. What was given us here we shall keep. because no learning is ever lost for the unconscious mind, but also on your soul level. And if it suffices not, then again we must come together and together stretch our hands into the river. Forget not that I shall come back to you. Even for the part of us that's the reptile brain, that also never loses its learning unless we consciously shift that. So, all the way from the animal you to the God you, learning is never lost. A little while, and my longing shall gather dust and foam for another body. A little while, a moment of rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me. Farewell to you and the youth I have spent with you. Time is not what it seems. We always will have access to everything in the right now. Where else would it go? Where is the past? Ask yourself, where is your past right now? Remember something, anything from your past. Remember something good, hopefully. Anything from your past. Where is that right now? Where is it? You can access everything right here, right now, because where else would it go? Your memories aren't just going to disappear. As we co create our lives in this world, with the world, we erect the infinite multitudes of the layers of this universe, which is why we're all able to have different experiences but still live on the same planet together. There is an infinite bound to what we grow and what we can grow if you look at your life fondly. There's an infinite way for the life to grow. Absolutely. So look at your life fondly. Because if you do, even if your life is not fond, in your own opinion, you'll get to build exactly what you would like. Even if it appears that it's not what you would like. Nothing is coincidence. A little while, and my longing shall gather dust and foam for another body. A little while, a moment of rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me. Farewell to you and the youth I have spent with you. It was but yesterday we met in a dream. You have sung to me in my aloneness, and I of your longings have built a tower in the sky. But now our sleep is fled, and our dream is over, and it is no longer dawn. The noontide is upon us, and our half waking has turned to a fuller day, and we must part. If in the twilight of memory we should meet once more, we shall speak again together, and you shall sing to me a deeper song. And if our hands should meet in another dream, we shall build another tower in the sky. It's why we tend to have fond memories of the past, even if they may not have been. So saying, he made a signal to the seamen, and straightway they weighed anchor and cast the ship loose from its moorings, and they moved eastward. And a cry came from the people as from a single heart. And it rose into the dusk and was carried out over the sea like a great trumpeting. Only Almitra was silent, gazing after the ship until it had vanished into the mist. And when all the people were dispersed, she still stood alone upon the seawall, remembering in her heart his saying, a little while, a moment of rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me. The end. When you get what you would like, great. And if you don't get what you would like, even better. Your well being is your greatest contribution to humanity. No exceptions, ever.